Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
God, I fucking hate that song.
I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your smile.
Shut your fucking ass up.
Terrible.
Shut your ass up.
This ain't no freaking karaoke night.
See, our motto is, if you can't sing, shut the fuck up. Get off the stage.
What?
From Step Brothers?
That wasn't Step Brothers?
Yeah, remember when they were gonna they're like, we want to start a karaoke business. And, most karaoke nights are like, anybody can come on and sing. Not us. If you sing, you don't get to go.
I don't remember that.
That was before the boats and hose scene. Dude, what is that, what's that song? There's those songs that just get stuck in your head when you see them. Or sing them. Like when you sung Rihanna a second ago. In The Office, you remember when, Jim is at the other branch or whatever, and he has the squeaky chair. Rashida Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Starts singing that song.
I don't remember what song he's singing, but
I can't remember the song. Do you guys know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I just remember the
I
song.
can't remember the song, dude. Damn it.
and that's the one he's trying to sing and get into Andy's head, right?
Love me, love me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking hate that song too.
Yeah. Damn it, now that song's gonna be stuck in my head all fucking episode.
Well, you force yourself to think of it.
No one makes me bleed my own blood. Alright, you guys got your notes?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Should we just get into it?
Let's do it.
Boys, let's get to it.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
What's up, everybody? Episode 44, Three Amigos and a Podcast. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
Just as a special update to everybody listening, we are still the Three Amigos and a Podcast, but from now on, you can find us under 3A. If you're already following us, there's nothing that you need to do to change it. You don't need to resubscribe. Everything transfers over, but we are now viewed as 3A.
Thank you, Enrique.
Yeah, thanks to Enrique. Inspired by the hats. You can also get a hat if you want any of our merch. I mean, we got hats, we got shirts, we got everything. Don't really have prices, so just email us, and if we like you, we'll give you a discount.
There you go.
I think that's how it works.
Give you a discount.
The homie hookup.
Yeah, you get the friends and family discount unless they don't really like you.
If
you
you're
pay
listening, you're in cahoots.
Yeah, I miss that place.
I know, man. It's been a long time.
Is that place gone or?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. They
Oh,
closed
they
down.
did, didn't they?
Yeah,
That was recent, though. They
the
talked
first
about
of this year.
Yeah, they talked about it for a long time.
Yeah, closed
Man,
down.
a lot of good memories there.
Yeah, fun times.
Me and Dean sang karaoke there a lot.
A lot.
You guys would always get into it.
Well,
Yeah.
as you guys could hear from my previous singing, I'm a
Talented
killer on the
musician.
microphone.
Just too much.
Dude, not tone deaf at all. Like,
Not tone deaf.
I'm like William Hung.
William Hung. You must be a big William Hung fan.
How does everybody say that to me? But anyway, so that was a little update on that. Also, shout out to everyone that voted for us in that My Roadcast competition. We ended up we won a little prize. I guess we got X amount of votes. So it's like this little. They're mailing it to us now. It's like this portable recording device.
No way.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
got an email that we won that. I guess enough people
Sweet.
voted for us.
Hell
so,
yeah. Well,
Nice.
thank you so much,
yeah.
everybody.
So everybody listening, thank you for the votes.
Why didn't you tell us about this? We're just
He wanted to
now
surprise us
barely
on the
hearing.
podcast.
I honestly just remembered. I was like trying to think of all the announcements and things that have been going on. Yeah.
Wow,
Rub-
that's sweet.
Rub that in the freaking All Bad podcast face.
Dude, and this episode will get us over 2,000 downloads.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hey,
that first 1,000's the hardest. Now we're just rolling.
Hell
get
yeah,
it
man.
rolling.
Rolling.
For those Reddit listeners too, man.
Yeah.
If those guys still out there listening, we appreciate the listens.
Definitely. And, we're going to get into some pretty heavy Padre talk.
Per usual.
This week on the podcast, we're going to try to mix up the format a little bit. Just, keep things interested, keep us on our toes, and get us all more involved. So we're going to split it up. Brandon's going to handle NBA, give you some news and playoff predictions, whatever he wants to take that in. Ryan's going to do some NFL stuff, what kind of news we got, if there's some draft stuff. Then I'm going to do NHL. NHL playoffs started. They got the award season coming up, so there's
Sweet.
that. But
It's exciting.
yeah, it'll be a fun podcast. We got a lot going on.
Definitely. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah. See
Should
if it's
be
a
good.
good format. See if it works for us. But yeah.
See how it flows.
Well, as always, like to start off the podcast. You guys see how my boys are. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Shaylee's birthday was on Tuesday.
Mm.
We went out to Temecula, did some wine tasting. 28 didn't treat Shaylee too well. She drank a little too much wine, so she passed out at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So that was fun.
Nice.
It's a
but it was
good day.
fun. Yeah, it was fun though. We hit up a few wineries. Went to breakfast. Went to Old Town for dinner.
I like that winery you went to. I think it was for your birthday. Was it Ophelia? Or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
up in
yeah.
Escondido. That's a
Yeah.
fun one. It's a beautiful view.
Mm-hmm.
Temecula's got some cool ones. If you guys haven't been out there with your lady, it's definitely like a fun little trip. You can there's a couple hotels there at the end too, because nobody wants to be drinking and driving, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get an Uber to all of them. But we did it one year for Leah's birthday where we did a party bus up there, and we went to like 5 or 6 of them. But there's a few out there that are really fun to go to. Great wine, great views. I mean,
I've
everything's
never actually done a wine tasting before. I've never been to one. Have you been to one, Brandon?
No.
I know, Ryan. I know you've done a few.
I've done several.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it every
Never-
time they open up a new winery. I feel like every time we go to Indiana too. I mean, the wine's not as good as it is here,
Yeah.
but it's a fun experience. I mean, and my personality, it's like coffee. I mean, wine, bourbon.
It's
I
just
mean,
like different things.
I
and,
like to try different things, and I like to figure out my palate and things like
Mm.
that. So it's a fun experience.
Gotta let those tannins breathe.
Let the tannins breathe.
Stupid tannins.
Stupid tannins.
What about you, B? How did the week treat you?
Pretty exciting. Me and Dama, we had actually just booked a trip to Cancun. We're going next month.
No way.
Yeah, it's gonna
Just
be
spur of the moment.
That's awesome, dude.
She's been wanting to do it for a while, and then I know her sister had kind of talks of going. I'm like, hey, I mean, I'm down to go too,
Yeah.
And,
Cancun's one of those places too. Is you just got to get there. Everything's cheap once you're there.
yeah, so we looked, and I think it's about $500 for the both of us to go round trip,
That's not bad at all.
and then it's about like $40 a night per night there. We're going to be
Damn.
there from, I think it's the 17th or 18th, I can't remember, to like the 26th, which is like right before Memorial Day. So yeah, pretty exciting. Just gonna take like a week off from work, and
Dude, I mean, if anybody, you two deserve it. I know she's been kicking
Yeah,
ass doing
yeah, she's-
school and work, and you've just been.
so she'll be finishing up her semester at that time. I think that's kind of the reason why she picked that specific time, and like she's got very limited times that she can actually like take time off, because there's only so many people that can step into her role, so there's not
Yeah.
that much flexibility there. But yeah, pretty exciting. I know I see her once a week for maybe 5 hours.
Yeah,
so
that'll be good. Yeah.
It's tough, but yeah, being able to spend like a full on week, that's going to be pretty awesome. And I've never actually been to Cancun. Have you guys?
no.
Yeah, apparently it's super relaxing.
I think
And
my
probably just going to
parents
get drunk
went there
as
on their
shit
honeymoon.
and have a good time.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Your parents had their
Yeah,
honeymoon there?
Yeah, I think that's where they went for their honeymoon.
Yeah, it sounds like
Don't get any ideas when you're out.
she's been there before, and so she like knows all the spots to go to, and she's like, yeah, go here. Like apparently the water at like a lot of the bars over there is like awful. So you like want to go to you want to get some pre-bottled water before you go to like any of the restaurants
thought
or
you
the
meant
bars.
That's like Mexico in general.
Yeah, I
though.
thought you meant like the pool water.
I know, I was like,
no,
yeah,
I thought you were gonna
say like
no. I'm talking
the
about
bars
like
at
if
the-
you're like trying to grab like a drink of water at like a
yeah.
restaurant or something. Like I guess the water's just freaking disgusting.
Yeah, it's not good.
So you want to get some like purified bottles of water at like
when we went to
local-
Mexico when we were 18, we just every time we stopped off, we bought a case of water, brought it
just
back.
go,
Yeah.
Just go to like the store or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know. Anytime I travel, like if I'm not home, really, if I'm anywhere else, I try to go bottled water. I mean, in all reality,
Just because you don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like in Indiana, every time I go out there, their tap water is like heavy with limestone. Like it's not bad for you. It's like actually good for your digestive system. But like I'm not used to it, so I'm always like, all right, where's the bottled water?
Yeah, I'll
at?
just go bottled water at that point. Like,
Yeah.
it's easier.
That's generally
Especially if you're
here, though,
traveling,
I mean,
too.
Yeah, I heard that like on airplanes too, just always ask for bottled water.
Yeah.
Because I heard like their tanks or whatever that they store it in can be absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Like they don't clean it, so I'm always just like, who am I kidding?
They
I
always
get
give
alcohol when
they always crack open bottles of water. At least on all the flights I go on.
There's
I
some
don't
that'll
know, there's been a
serve.
few that they have
Yeah.
like on a tray. I don't know if it's bottled or not. I
Yeah.
don't know how it works. So,
Dean wants the seal.
Yeah.
but I mean,
Seal the
who am I
deal.
kidding? I'm getting a whiskey on a
How
plane.
was
If
your
I'm
weekend, man?
If I'm flying. My week was pretty good. Didn't really do a whole lot. Or trying to think back. Oh yeah, Sarah and I went to go see her cousin's softball game, and it is official. If I have a daughter, she's playing softball because that is my new favorite sport. I fucking love recreational softball to like a whole new level. I called Ryan afterwards, and I was just like, dude, it is so much fun to watch. Like,
Oh yeah, it's impressive, man. Like I was telling you, like
Yeah.
it's so quick. Like everything happens so fast.
it's so quick. They're like the girls now when they pitch, like there's so much movement on those softballs. Like there's so much spin, it's hard to pick up. Her cousin played 3 games. She went 6 for 7 on the day. Dude, her last hit, she drilled it right back at the pitcher, hit her right in the leg. It was amazing. It was like a shot. It was just boom, turned on it. It was fun.
Dude, I always thought it would be sick to join one of those Vavi leagues.
Yeah,
Because I always would see him at the, like, it's literally across the street from my house.
yeah, it would be.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then didn't really do anything else the weekend. Sarah's sister left. She's in New York now. She's packing up her stuff. So
wow.
Tanya, if you're listening, shout out, what's up? Say hi to Mike, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, she's picking up her stuff, coming back soon, and then I got a offer for a new position this week.
Nice.
So I accepted that. I put my official 2 weeks notice in today with my job. So we'll see how
On
that
to
goes.
bigger and better things.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. The new position seems exciting. I'm ready for it. Honestly, I'm really excited because I guess they give out like Padres tickets all the time.
That was the
They
selling
have-
point.
Like, I guess they have 8 seats or something like that, or 2 sets of 4, right in the front row behind home plate. And I was like, dude,
Well, you have my cell phone number.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is me all day. Like, please,
All day.
all day.
Well,
Sold
then
me.
Tell them about the Beyonce and Jay-Z too, right?
Yeah, so like on my call, I was talking to them. They were telling me like some of the perks and whatnot, like the company culture. And one girl was like, when I first started, their like onboarding welcome gift, they gave me box tickets to Jay-Z Beyonce concert.
fucking awesome.
Like, that's
Dude.
ridiculous, dude.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, hopefully the Padres make it to the World Series pretty soon, you know?
There you go.
Hey,
Keep
free
my fingers
tickets.
crossed. Padres 2020, you know?
hey, optimism this year.
Oh, yeah.
Lots
dude.
of it.
The game tonight, man.
Yeah,
Hedges-
perfect example.
3-run shot. Everybody's going. Bats are going.
It's 6-1 right now, man.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be, I swear, it was if the other team scored first, we lost. Like, we
Yeah.
just never would be able to battle down, even if it was one run.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, I
the
always
case
felt like
this
we were
year.
playing from behind, even when we weren't playing from behind.
exactly. Even if it was like a 3-0 lead, it was like,
Yeah.
oh man, something's gonna happen here.
Yeah, dude, this guy looked good tonight.
Avila.
Avila, he looked really good. I mean, he started off rocky start, gave up that first run, 3 hits in the first inning, but he got his way out of a bases loaded jam and pitched a solid 5 innings I know
Against
Yeah,
against an offense that's been clicking this
Yeah.
year.
Mhm. And you know he had trouble with his curveball early.
Yeah, and then he got it
you
together,
Then
man.
he got it together. So
that was a nasty pitch. Those guys were definitely like once he got it dialed in, they were having a hard time reading it off his hand.
I feel like him and Godley kind of had the same kind of like pitch repertoire.
Yeah, I don't know if it had something
Yeah.
to do with like the
dude, Godley is like that change. I don't know if it was a changeup, curveball,
it was a
whatever. It was
curveball
like
for sure, but it was
breaking
nasty.
ball, and it just came like it was like a 12 to. It was almost like a 2 to 8.
It just had a
But
heavy
it
break in
broke
it. Yeah.
late. That was the biggest problem. Is it broke late? It looked like
It
a
broke late and
changeup.
it broke out.
Yeah,
So that was the hard part. That was like, is this hard to read or?
yeah, it was nasty.
I don't know, but yeah, overall good game. Before we get heavy into Padres talk, I wanted to ask you guys, because we heard, I don't know who it was, but they had the Friends theme song as their walk-up
Oh,
song.
God.
Somebody for the Diamondbacks.
Someone for the Diamondbacks. If you guys had a walk-up song, what would it be?
Oh, well, I don't really have one specifically off the top of my head, but I would definitely want something that would just get the blood pumping. It's something that's just going to get me amped
So are you
up.
going like old school, or are you trying to go like a current song?
No, I would definitely go old school. I'm thinking like Metallica, Van Halen, or something like that. Just kind of like, so just
Yeah,
like
just something that's like...
just to get in the pitcher's head and kind of get me a little juiced, you know?
You got yours, Ryan?
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Let's hear it. What do we got?
I'm trying to find the exact part though.
You gotta hold it up to the
Oh,
mic.
he's trying to play the actual tune.
Oh, play
Well,
it.
what you could do is just have Dean add this later on, but
I could do it in post unless you got it now.
I found it.
Hit me with it.
All right.
oh god, I think I've heard somebody.
It's a perfect baseball song.
This is total
song is
baseball
this?
song.
I know you're stumped right now. Just give it a second.
It's Eddie Money, right?
Oh, I know the song.
Take me home tonight. This is
Yep.
this is a total Padre song.
This would be my perfect walk-up song.
I like it.
I feel like baseball, it's better to, like, you hear a lot of them are, you know, like old school songs because baseball's so traditional.
Yeah.
Unless you're like one of those flashy guys, you're like a Fernando Tatis or Manny Machado, and those guys are just kind of like.
Well,
Yeah.
and like you want it to be you. I mean, and that's the whole point of like a walk-up song.
It's true.
What you got?
Dude, I don't know. I was like thinking about it, and in all reality, like, I'm probably walking up to a country song. Like, I'm not a big country fan, but it like somehow it like like country calms my nerves a little bit.
In baseball, when like I had my we did this bombathon thing, and my first walk-up song was "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy."
Good old Big and Rich.
It's yeah. I mean, and like it's feel good music. That's why it's upbeat. It's feel good music.
And that's the other thing, because I don't know. I work in IT, so it's like when I'm really working on a project, I listen to like some like techno music or some kind of house music, just to like kind of just keep me going.
Mhm.
But if I really need to focus, I need to read something. It's like I'm listening to country, something that's
Yeah.
just like calming and like relaxing. So if I'm up at the plate, I want to be like in my zone. So I'm probably walking up to like some kind of Chris Young song or something.
Chris Young,
Yeah,
the old pitcher for the Padres.
No.
yeah. He sings country now.
He does. He got cracked in the face with Albert Pujols' line drive, and then he decided
It
he was
changes
all
his
about
vocal cords and he sounds like a hick now.
Yeah.
Talks like this,
Or is it the outfielder for the Diamondbacks? No.
God damn it, Brandon.
Yeah.
Way to ruin my walk-up song. Now I'm not even gonna hit.
Now I just made
Now
it-
I'm not getting a hit.
Now his brain's confused.
Now I don't even know which way to go. But yeah. Anyways, let's get into Padre talk.
First place. Enough
First
said.
place in the division.
First place. We're half game up currently. Before this podcast is over, hopefully we are up a full game.
Gosh, when was the last time we had that?
Dude,
When was the like,
when's the last time that it's like you look at the standings and you feel happy?
yeah. Well, at least when was the last time you felt like the Padres were a relevant team?
Dude, there's been so many articles that have come out of like, are the Padres the real deal? The up and coming Padres, just everything is talking
The
about
thing,
the
like,
surprise.
The thing about this team, like you look at teams like the Mariners right now, who are the first team like to double digits. They're playing out of their mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at other teams, like the Rays, where it's like you're in division with the Red Sox and the Yankees. Like how much of that is sustainable? The Padres haven't even hit full stride yet. They're playing amazing team baseball.
Mhm.
So it's hard to imagine that this isn't going to be at least continuing on for, I would say that through the halfway point of the season. I mean, unless they go on a drought where they're losing like 7 straight or something. I mean, it looks like they're going to continue to at least fight for part of like the division. I mean, obviously the Dodgers have one of the deepest lineups in all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rockies will definitely heat up.
Yeah.
They're off to a cold start, but they'll get it going.
But I
Yeah.
mean, we mentioned a little bit beforehand of like, everybody, like you said, Ryan, it's like a team effort. Everybody
Yeah.
is picking each other up. There's not that one pressure on Myers to, hit a solo shot,
Yeah.
or, there's not pressure for Hosmer to like move the runner over or anything like that. It's like they know if somebody isn't going to get the job done, somebody else can get it
Our
done.
number 8 hitter hit a 3-run home run to put us up by 5.
1 through 8, I feel like each batter is capable of scoring some runs for us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I consider Austin Hedges to be probably our worst bat in our lineup, but the dude just hit a 3-run shot today.
Yeah.
I mean, he can score. We had said he's a one-trick pony, but having the ability to score 1 through 8, we haven't had that in a long time.
Not only that, but it's like having the ability to hit a 3-run shot instead of a single shot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Having the ability to have bats
Well,
on.
I think it's the Machado
runners on.
effect. I was just looking at his line. So his batting average isn't fantastic, but his on base is 370.
He walks, I feel like, at least once a game.
That guy, we had talked about it before the podcast. He plays the game the right way. Like there's everything he does. He's leading by example.
I mean,
and he's a first true leader on this team.
You watch him hit with 2 strikes, it just shows you what kind of baseball player he is. I mean, he doesn't change his approach for any swing. He's never like leaning back, hitting for the fence. I mean, he's got a smooth, compact swing, and he has natural power.
Yeah, and to that, it's like everyone on the team is following suit. People are working the count.
Definitely.
You're not swinging for the fence. You're not going down on three strikes. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you look
you're
at
working the count.
We saw Urias today, our number 7 hitter. He had a double off the wall. I mean, like you're saying, 1 through 8. I mean, they're all good baseball players.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're not even hot yet. I mean, Myers and Renfroe have the 2 best batting averages on our team. Like Fernando Tatis is hitting the ball well, not always falling. Franmil Reyes is like torching the baseball, and it's right at somebody every time.
It's starting to pay dividends now.
Yeah. So I mean, when this team gets hot, it's dangerous to see what they could actually be, because I mean, right now looking at their roster, I see 5 guys that can hit 30+ home runs this year. 5.
And their infield defense is, in my opinion, probably the best in baseball.
I agree.
Just like looking
honestly,
all the way across.
Like, and I know we talked about like the amount of Gold Glove players that we had going into the season, but watching them play now and seeing the other talent in not just the National League but Major League Baseball, I mean, they're up there with the Houston Astros as far as defensive infield. It's
Definitely.
I mean, I would say right now the best in baseball.
And it's not only with that they cover so much range, so they take away certain gaps, take away the 5-hole. With if you hit anything on the left side of the field, like that's not getting through.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Tatis's range today with that gap ball that
should have been a hit.
Yeah,
that was probably going to get to the gap, maybe a double.
Yeah.
And Machado always, dude. We've mentioned it. It's like a robot over there.
Yeah.
Everything's
Automatic.
so
I don't even need to
consistent.
look at the TV to know that he's
As
going to
soon
make
as
the
it goes that direction, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Don't even need to take a second breath. But yeah, dude, the Padres have been burning and turning.
I think that's paying dividends
and
for our
burning.
young pitchers too, to be honest. Like you look at how great they're playing.
And that was the point too with Avila. I think early on he wasn't really trusting his defense. He wasn't trusting his support system. He was kind of overthrowing some pitches.
He's trying to strike everyone out.
Yeah, once he got comfortable and he like let some balls get into play, and it was like, okay, I can hit my spots. Things get hit, it's gonna get taken care of.
You saw it right after the play with Fernando Tatis, that line drive that he fully stretched out and dove for and made the out. Right after that, you just saw Avila. What is it?
Avila. I don't know.
Whichever. Who
Avila
cares?
or Avila.
The dude.
But anyways, he relaxed.
The dude.
I mean,
Yeah,
like you
totally.
said, I mean, he was more composed. He trusted his defense. He wasn't pitching for strikeouts. He was pitching, inside the zone, trying to get people to put the ball in play.
And I mean, like, right after that, there was at least like 3 ground balls that were hit right to Machado.
Yeah, and that's what we need for our young pitching staff. We need them to trust the defense behind them, because if we're going to start getting these pitchers to go deeper into games, I mean, right now they're doing great right now, but I mean, they're all getting pulled in the 5th inning. And if eventually we're going to start pushing these guys into the 6th and 7th inning, it's because of our defense. They're all going to realize, hey, behind us is the best, if not the best, one of the best defenses in baseball. I can get away with having some balls put on the ground. I can get away with some,
Sharp grounders.
yeah.
And Villa went 6 innings, and
He went into the sixth, but yeah.
yeah, or 5 and some change or whatever. But
Mhm.
he only had 80 pitches. Later in the season, you could push him to finish that inning. You can push him a little bit further.
Yeah,
And I think
it
just
was
because
good to
they're
call.
young, they're young arms, so they want to keep their confidence high. And I think
Yeah.
that Darren Balsley and Andy Green have done a great job in that sense of keeping pulling these pitchers at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
They're young; they want to keep their confidence up. They want to keep them, ready to keep going out there. But
6-3 now.
Yeah, David Peralta.
yikes!
It's
Yeah. Well, ESPN had stole a segment from us. We do fantasy and reality on occasion, and they kind of stole that segment from us. So we're gonna steal a little segment from them. Do a little who's hot, who's not on the Padres. So, in your guys' opinion, who are 2 hot Padres right now?
I mean, I'm probably gonna go with a pitcher, and
yeah. If you're taking out the front runners, because you kind of expect Machado to be a superstar because you're paying him like that.
I think.
But I don't Machado early in the season. He's heating up now.
Yeah.
But,
I think I definitely like
series.
for pitchers. I'd have to give the nod to Kirby Yates. I mean, he's gotten every decision. I think he
that
likes
one.
to keep things interesting. But I mean, he's had seven opportunities, 7 saves. So I mean, he's definitely deserving of a
And he's worked out of some tight jams. Yeah, you said it. Playing it close to the vest or whatever the expression you want to use. But yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's lights out right now. For somebody who's not a true closer, he's proving his ability to be a true closer. His splitter's working perfectly. I mean, he's basically a 2-pitched closer.
Mm-hmm.
I know he has the curveball or changeup, whatever it is that he throws, but he's mostly splitter and fastball, and he's been dialed in for the most part. Like I said, I mean,
he's second in Major League to the Detroit Tigers closer for saves. He's 7 for 7. That guy's got 8. Looks like he's gonna probably get another save opportunity tonight. So for the end of the night, he could be numero uno.
And for a guy coming in as not a true closer and being able to show up like that.
Well, he did great last year too, as a setup guy. But I still view him as a setup guy. But I don't know why we always do really well with our closers. I don't know if it's just because it's San Diego, so the pressure's off because we're not kind of in the limelight or whatever. We're a small market team, however you want to view us. But yeah, I mean, it seems like every year we're always pumping out these all-star closers.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
Another person I got to give a nod to would be Will Myers, and we talked about it, first week of the season, not having the, however expression you would like to say it, pony on his back for, being the star of the team. He's batting above 300. He's hitting well with runners in scoring position. He's, playing all right on the defensive side of the ball. There's a couple questionable plays that he's made out there, but his bat's been the hottest on our team.
His bat's been good, yeah. Certainly.
Yeah, I agree. Those are two great picks. Brandon, you got any?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nick Markavagis. That dude's just done a great job.
Yeah, dude, that was mine too.
He had 3 fantastic starts for us, and he's truly impressed me. I know 2 of them were against the Giants, whose offense is off to a historically bad start for them, for that franchise, but you still got to go out there and pitch and perform, and he's done that in 3 starts straight. And for a guy who's never pitched above single A, that's I definitely got to tip my cap, and definitely did not think he would be performing the way he is. If we're taking out someone like Machado, I'm going to give Hunter Renfroe some love. He's going to be my second pick. Renfroe has come through with some clutch power. His bat's just been fantastic. He's not even getting regular starts. I think he's starting to get a little bit more now.
Mm-hmm.
But just his contribution with the bat, and his glove's been okay, but just the fact that you have another guy, another big bopper in the lineup. I know he's kind of been a bit inconsistent at times. He set a rookie record for home runs for the Padres, but outside of that, he really hasn't shown too much progression until maybe this year.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we've talked about in the past is that he really hasn't gotten a whole lot of playing time or like at bats to really, be consistent.
And he's taking advantage of it this year. So,
yeah, I mean, Kirby Yates was a guy that I was thinking as well.
We stole all the guys for you. So
yeah, Margevius. I mean, that guy has been a stud, like you said. He's posting like a 1.64 ERA, and he was a guy
3 starts too.
And he's a guy that I had no idea really who he was coming in or what to expect from him.
Low expectations, like with a lot of it, it's been a no expectation kind of year. But I mean, it had low expectation for a guy that never pitched above Double-A.
Yeah, and I mean
single A. Sorry,
yeah.
and honestly, I'm. Like, who's hot for me is just going to be that rotation. I mean, all these guys have come out, and they might have struggled at times. I think Luke Casey, through his third start, kind of struggled a little bit even. But, all of them have really been, had some real quality starts. And I think that's all you can really ask for from a young bullpen.
Definitely.
Averaging age
you
of
take
like
away
24 or whatever.
You take away 2 awful innings, and those 3 guys have just been fantastic to start the year.
So on the opposite end, who's not hot? Who's a guy?
Gotta be Kinsler right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we're all in agreement that it's
Kinsler's. Yeah, Kinsler's been struggling. His glove is great though.
Yeah, it's just pure offensively.
His bat's just it's just not coming through at this point, and I kind of saw it coming, to be honest, but there's still value to having a veteran presence in the clubhouse and in the lineup, and the fact that he's not playing regularly every game. What are you doing? Oh, you guys are like, you're distracting me.
I couldn't see. Ryan's mouth was behind the microphone, so I couldn't really see that he was like drinking, so it looked funny. It was like I just saw your eyes
You're
over
gonna
the
have so
microphone.
much editing on this podcast,
Dude. Fuck it.
I'm
just leaving it.
You're leaving it?
Yeah.
You're gonna leave it like this?
Well, now that you've gone on with it for so long, probably not.
Yeah. God.
And for me, a guy who I kind of expected more was Manny Margot. I think that with Jankowski being hurt, I really thought that he was going to kind of step up more in a sense.
He's done well. He's just not getting opportunities.
And but that's the thing. I thought that he'd make a more of a fight.
I agree. I totally understand what you're saying. I think that the point that Dean's trying to make is that he thought he would play above expectations to not leave it up to
exactly.
The fact that Franmil Reyes and Hunter Renfroe have better bats. So
and Will Myers,
and Will Myers.
All 3 of them have great bats. Yeah,
we can't avoid to not have the 3 of them in our lineup. It's not I mean, I don't mean to say like Margot's not playing well. I just feel like with the expectation of him being our starting center fielder, he basically, was given that. Like, you are our starting center fielder. Yeah. It's like you just have to play.
He's our best fielder for sure in the outfield.
And like we've said, it's like his bat isn't there, but I thought, maybe he'd be a little bit more consistent from like a contact side or be able to work the count a little bit more. Because he's got speed, and our lineup has been pretty flexible and pretty open that I could see him being our leadoff
hitter
guy.
Right now. So he's making good contact and he's getting hits, but like he doesn't work the count. He's not great at stealing bases. So I mean, you just bank off the fact that once he gets on base, if he's on second, he's scoring on a outfield single.
He's been batting 8. I would love to see him get a chance at batting leadoff, and then I could make a proper judgment on him.
Just because it's like I feel he could be our true leadoff guy.
That's what I view him as.
And it's hard watching Myers up there being our leadoff guy, going his first 2 at bats, 6 pitches. It's like that's no way to lead off a game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be a leadoff hitter, you got to work.
We're
the count
definitely
a little
struggling
bit,
with the leadoff hitter aspect. The one person that I feel like eventually deserves a look at it would be Fernando Tatis, because he's good at working a count.
Really good. Him and Machado.
And I thought, when Urias kind of got the nod late last year, that he was he was good in leadoff. They put him in there a couple.
Eventually he will be our leadoff hitter. Right now they're just trying to get him better pitches.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I think he could
work his way into that role too.
I think he's a little antsy up at the plate too. It seems like he's kind of swinging at some bad pitches, and what he's kind of prides himself on is his ability to draw contact and put the ball in play, which he does at by scout metrics. He is one of the best contact hitters in all of minor league baseball, and yet we're not really seeing it here in the bigs. I don't know if it's just because he's pressing a little bit,
It's only
which
been
is
a
kind
few
of
games.
I
so-
think
It is
it's been a
true,
few
but-
games, and I feel like he is pressing a little bit because he knows that Kinsler is slumping. So if he can get his bat working, then it gives him a better
he's swinging
option.
at like first pitches, and it just seems like to me
But you look at him
for
last
good-
season when he came up, he was working the count a lot. Like I
Yes.
was giving him tons of props for being patient at the plate, especially as a young player.
Mhm.
He's also
So-
got fan on a couple questionable calls too, and like,
he did on that first game. I think
Yeah.
I saw
and
that
that's
too.
not great for a hitter's confidence. But I mean, like tonight he hit that double off the wall. So I mean, his
Hopefully-
bat will come around. He'll definitely be the leadoff hitter of this team just because of his ability to work the counts. But he's got to get the confidence in there first.
Yeah.
I didn't like starting him in the leadoff spot for his first game up. I thought that was pushing it a little bit.
It was a lot of pressure
Yeah.
for your first time,
Well, it
but I
just
think he
seems like
handled it well.
Oh, he
too,
did. He
you know,
did.
So
Well, it's like Tatis. You're batting Tatis pretty late in the lineup, and yet I think he's one of our better bats. And yet,
But I
it's
mean,
kind of
for
like
me,
you got
that's-
to earn it, type thing.
But for me, I'm okay with him kind of batting late because that spreads out your bats. You know what I mean? That gets us the opportunity to
true.
be solid 1 through 8. It's
Yeah.
gives us doesn't give pitchers a time off dependent on when
This inning is still going on.
Yeah.
who's up.
Stammen's in now.
Yeah,
Wick and Stock just totally just.
that's runners on first and second with. Oh, they just got him out. We're good.
So on the point of the Padres bullpen kind of screwing them this game, I mean they've been pretty consistent. I think I've been pretty happy with their production.
Definitely. Normally, an area of strength has not been a strength for them this year,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, well, I feel like over the past couple of years, it's kind of been questionable.
yeah,
The bullpen has been definitely
we've
questionable.
also just
for 'em.
everything's been questionable on the team. But
Yeah, that's so what do you guys think about this media push for somebody to sign Dallas Keuchel?
I think the longer the season goes on, the less likely he is, or the less attractive he's looking.
Mm.
I mean, say what you want about being in shape and working out, but if you're not getting reps, I mean, most of these teams are probably going to look the other way. I think that especially when you're talking about people in media looking at the Padres saying like, "Oh, we need to, make a move on this guy." I don't think it's necessary. I think the biggest, chip that the Padres have to play right now is the element of surprise. I mean, they threw a guy out there today that nobody's seen before. Same thing with Margavius.
Two guys that haven't pitched above
Yeah.
single A ball. And now
So
they're-
I feel like they're gonna definitely keep that fifth spot open as a flex spot to, whether it's Quantrill or Allen getting called up or I mean I know they've struggled in the minor leagues, but it allows for opportunities for them to mess with their rotation and to give a longer rest to some of our other starters like Paddock, who's coming back from Tommy John surgery, or Lucchesi, who's coming back from an injury last year as well. There's been a lot of, with youth and new injuries and things like that, I don't think it's necessary. I think you look at teams like the Yankees who are losing players to injury, or the Dodgers who have had, struggles with their starting rotation and
their bullpen, just pitching in general.
So, I mean,
God.
I look at those teams that have the cash to spend and they're in win now modes as teams that will probably end up making a move on him. Or you look at a team like the Seattle Mariners who, have played well above expectation to start the year that might want to go out and add another chip that puts them over the edge. There's definitely places out there for him. I just think that the way that the media is spinning it right now, like the Mets, like, oh, they have a deep rotation, but adding Keuchel to that's going to make them even better. Or the Phillies, who have a deep rotation, but adding Keuchel is going to make them better. It doesn't make. I mean, it makes sense if you're like playing video games, but
yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the the top prospects and the youth of your organization, the people that you have spent the time and energy scouting and working up to this point. Those are the guys that you want to see out there.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would love for the Padres to stand pat on Keuchel. I know it would be beneficial to certainly have a proven veteran arm in the rotation. And, maybe I would be welcoming to Keuchel, but it would probably be on a 1-year deal, and he'd probably be making under $20 million a year.
Mm.
And to me personally, I think, this team, we have flexibility going forward. Why would we want to jeopardize that for
You can't
the
handcuff
now?
yourself to money.
Yeah,
I mean,
just for now.
they're
And-
playing above expectations right now.
And what you want to do is have that flexibility in the future to be able to go out and get an arm when you need him, or whatever, a bat or whatever you needed.
An arm with less innings on it.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy. If we're talking cars, this car's got 80,000 miles on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it looks good. It's in good shape, but I mean, we had the same thing happen to us with Shields. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a guy that we brought in off of a couple good years, and I mean, pitchers, no matter, the big difference between calling a 26, 27-year-old rookie infield outfielder up is that they're fresh. But pitching is pitching.
Yeah.
It's the same effort put into the minor leagues as it is in the major leagues. So you only have so much gas in the tank. And I mean, I'm not saying Keuchel's not a reputable pitcher, but I mean, he's going to want more than a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
And how much money are you going to invest into a guy that you don't know what you're going to have the year after next? Right now, it's a guy that can go out and eat innings. And yes, the Padres could use somebody to keep their bullpen fresh, to allow those starters to get a longer rest. But at what cost?
From what I've heard, though, from like his agent and stuff, what has come out through like the media is that he turned down that qualifying offer from the Astros, and I think it was like between $17-18 million or something like that. And basically, if he could go back in time and accept that qualifying offer, it sounds like that's what he would do, because he knows that the market's really soft for starting pitching right now.
Yeah.
But he's also holding out for, that multi-year contract as well. So he's open to either one. So he'd be willing to take less per year, for that 18 million, 17 million, or whatever the qualifying offer was for this year.
Yeah.
He'd be willing to take less per year on a multi-year basis, or that single year with a bunch of money attached to it. Sweet. Margot just went yard to take the lead.
There we go.
Nice.
There we go. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully, for his sake, I'm sure he wants somebody to reach for him. But
definitely.
like you guys said, I don't think that there's
not
really a
necessary
team out
right
there
now.
that has a need for him.
Not necessary.
Yeah. Well, let's switch over. We'll do some NBA. Brandon, go ahead. Take it over.
Yeah, man. Playoffs heating up. A lot to talk about right now.
All right.
A lot from a management executive perspective. We'll probably start there, and then we can kind of talk, some playoff basketball, and then, kind of transition to those other sports from there. But,
right.
Big news. I know you guys are, well, you're definitely a Laker fan. You're a LeBron fan. So you kind of root
I'm a
for
Laker fan vicariously through Dean.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a Heat fan,
There you go.
but I like the Lakers.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, big news. I'm sure everybody's heard it. Magic Johnson stepping down.
What? I'm just kidding.
He's stepping down as Lakers president.
What?
This one came out of nowhere. It did. You definitely did not see that
Well,
coming.
no, he didn't even tell Jeannie Buss, who he even said he
Okay.
sees as a sister. Like,
Okay.
okay.
I'm not gonna say that I predicted this, but if you look at what Magic Johnson has said from the beginning, he said, "I'm gonna give it 3 years.
Mhm.
It's a 3-year plan. That third year is starting." I think that he's looking at it now as I'm not gonna be able to put the product on the field or on the court that everybody else expects me to do, and this is so stressful. I'm done.
He's got a lot on his plate, man.
If anything, I see it in a different light. I see it as they brought him in. They said that he could do all these things, but when it came down to it, they just wanted him to be the face.
Mhm.
I don't think that they actually gave him any real responsibility. I think he was just there to get LeBron, and he kind of felt that way, and he felt like he wasn't being valued properly. Plus, you've heard him say in the past, I can't give so and so props because I'm the general, or I'm the.
He doesn't want to do it. That's what
I think that's what it is.
And then
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do it.
Well, he's got the Dodgers on his back too. He's part owner there, and he's got a lot on his plate. He'd even said he's like, I just want to be able to like go back and enjoy things and not be kind of like under the microscope. And can you blame a guy who has had a successful career?
Absolutely, that's what I mean. He was a successful player. He's been a successful businessman. I mean, he runs so many businesses throughout the Los Angeles area, and like I know he worked on a project that put Starbucks in like rural areas of the United States. It was like 150 like that he wanted to put into like underdeveloped areas. So, like he's done so many things in his career that it's like, at what point do you want to just sit back and relax? I mean, and we're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, between them and the Knicks, I mean, there's not a whole lot more pressure that's going to come to you from an executive position in the NBA.
Yeah,
I don't give him as much credit to LeBron James signing though as I do to LeBron James. I think that was his plan all along. I think that it fell in Magic Johnson's lap, and he didn't have to work much for it.
What do you mean it was LeBron's plan? Like,
I think
he
that was
wanted,
like
something that
LeBron went there because it was LeBron's decision. No one really like.
Oh, no,
no one
definitely,
coaxed him
without
to
a
be
doubt.
there.
If
He
you
just-
look at like what players, even like Kevin Durant, and being in Silicon Valley, being around all these millionaires, like that's good for business. Whatever businesses you're building, because I mean somebody gives you $30 million a year to play basketball, you're turning around and say, how can I turn this $30 million into $100 million and $300 million?
Well, you see all these shoe deals. You hear what's his name, LeBron with Space Jam 2 and all these movies. That,
just investing.
It works better for you being there. So like that's been the whole conversation this offseason with Kevin Durant is he going to make more money in New York or is he going to make more money being in San Francisco? I mean, it's a coin flip at this point. But that's how these NBA players are thinking nowadays, or at least the top tier ones.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
I don't give as much credit to Magic Johnson as I do just LeBron doing what's best for him, doing what's best for his family. But he definitely shocked the world with this one.
Yeah. Oh, he kept it under wraps. Nobody within the industry knew who he was, and
or knew that he was going to do that.
yeah.
But
I
he
think
also
everybody knows
did
who
it. He did it at a time.
Sorry,
That,
I got a
you're fine.
notification for the game.
but he's doing it at a time too where now they can go into the off season and talk as much shit as you want about LeBron James. He helped put together the big three. He helped bring a championship to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you've seen what happens once he's removed.
Yeah.
So it's going to allow more opportunity for him to be the general manager of this team, to go out there to get a head coach that knows how to work with him and to make the players around him better. I mean, Luke Walton did not do that this year. If he has a job with the Lakers next year, this organization's fucked.
Yeah. I'm done with Luke.
Well, we're talking. Obviously somebody's got to step into this role. Do you guys have anyone in mind that you think would be a good fit for
I
it?
can
Or?
guarantee you right now who it's going to be.
I'm almost positive. I think we're on
Ty
the same-
Lue.
Oh, you're thinking Ty Lue?
I mean, yeah, that would make the most sense. I mean, him and LeBron already have that history.
I
They
would be
already have-
shocked, man. I think it's gonna be David Griffin. That dude is primed. Oh God, they have a history together too. LeBron, David Griffin. He's on the market.
You're gonna have to do some more explaining. I'm not sure who David Griffin is.
He was with the Cavs. He was their GM for them through all those championships that
okay.
they had. Really intelligent guy.
You think he's going to be their head coach?
Oh, you're talking head coach?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about stepping into Magic Johnson's role.
Yes, David Griffin for sure. I'm sorry. I'm already assuming Luke Walton's getting fired.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah, sorry, I was on the
yeah.
same page as Ryan with
No,
that.
I was talking about replacements for Magic
Yeah,
Johnson.
no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
No, yeah. God.
I was like, okay.
Hell no.
We're like looking at him like, Brandon. So
No.
he's never been a coach before. But
No, I thought we were talking about president of. Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was talking about, but you guys weren't on the same
Yeah,
page.
nah,
But
we're good now.
Yeah.
no, head coach.
Well, yeah, I mean that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
For that. if they
I
already
know
have the
Chauncey
history.
Billups been talked about.
Nope.
I don't know if I would be in love with that move. I personally, gosh, I don't know. I feel like Luke Walton has not necessarily been given the best hand to work with.
All right. My only thing with that though is that you let the Clippers whoop your ass all year.
Well, they split the season series,
But who was in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's not, I don't think it's his fault, man. The GM poorly put, Rob Pelinka did a horrendous job putting this team together.
It's terrible.
You have all guys who are just are playmakers. You know, you have zero shooters, and LeBron is the best playmaker, or at least one of the best playmakers in the game. And you are not surrounding him with shooters. That's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's getting gutted.
I said it when they put the team together. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? You know?
Yeah, you put Lonzo Ball and him on the same court at the same time. It doesn't make any sense.
And then you put Rondo. You have all these guys who are. They're great playmakers.
If LeBron doesn't get hurt for those 15, 16 games, whatever it was, though, they're probably in the playoffs. I will say that they went on a terrible run without LeBron. But you are spot on in that analysis. But it's getting gutted.
And I think that they handled it.
Well, they're all 1 year deals
Anthony
too.
Davis,
Yeah, so
they handled the Anthony Davis thing pretty poorly, I think, too.
That, though, I feel like...
I understand the
I
move.
thought that was sabotage to me personally.
I see the direction that they're going in, but at the same time, that wasn't... I don't think it was handled properly.
I will be shocked if Kuzma, Ball, and Hart and Ingram are all on the Lakers next year. I'll be shocked. Those 4 guys, to me, are probably going to be playing for, any other team in the
I feel
NBA.
like for sure Lonzo Ball's gone. You're just already seeing too much movement.
And Kuzma's the one guy that I don't want to go anywhere, but he's the most valuable piece in that asset.
As far as, big moves going on in the NBA, the Sacramento Kings extended their GM Vlad Divac, and his first move was firing their head coach Dave Yeager. And
I saw that, yeah.
I personally am not a huge fan of this move. I think Dave Yeager's done a fantastic job with this team that way overachieved. They were a number 9 seed in the West this year. Just the moves that he has made, as well as the fact that he has coached a team that was they do like a fan index of most miserable fan bases. They're the top of the list. Yeah. For them to be in that range, and then for them to have some hope this year, and for you to fire that head coach, just seems like it was a little bit premature. I think if we're talking 2 years down the line and he's still doing a crappy job, and you fire him, I wouldn't have a problem with it then. But maybe they have someone good waiting in the wing. Yeah. 2 more head coaches. Larry Drew from the Cavs. He was kind of an interim guy. Didn't really see him staying long term. And JB Bickerstaff from the Grizzlies. Some big moves there. Nothing I think is going to be too altering. Both those teams are kind of in rebuild right now.
Seems like there's quite a few head coaching vacancies, available. So
and James Jones brought on full time for a GM basis for the Phoenix Suns. He was on an interim basis, former Detroit Pistons guy. Got mixed feelings on that one, but
well, hopefully the Suns can turn around. Didn't they have the worst record in the NBA this season?
Second worst. The Knicks did. Knicks were tanking hard, regular season finale. Always exciting whenever the season's wrapping up. You have so much stuff going on. This particular year we had 3 Hall of Famers kind of wrapping up their career. Yeah. 2 of which everybody you have Dwayne Wade and you have Dirk Nowitzki, 2 sure bet Hall of Famers. They're just fantastic. You saw that I always kind of like look at this, and it was crazy that LeBron and Chris Paul and all them, the whole Banana Boat crew, Carmelo Anthony, they were all able to go out to Dwayne Wade's final game. And Dirk, it was kind of like
well, he didn't even announce it till after the game, right?
So one of the things that was crazy, I was watching that was before the second to last game. So one of the craziest things is I heard that when I was watching the Clippers Warriors game, that Dirk had thrown a chair through a wall and at Oracle Arena, and there's a hole in the wall there, the drywall cutting, and they put a plastic coating over it, and they had him sign it, and they're gonna cut that out and put it into the new Oracle Arena.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. I mean, Dirk is a classy guy, and he's gonna be missing the league. And then more of a from a Clipper standpoint, Ralph Lawler, He's calling it a career. 40 years as the voice of the Clippers, Chargers, as well as I think he had done some time in the NHL as well. But calling it a career.
Wow.
This is his last game. So he's also a Hall of Famer as well.
So did you put your resume in? You told him you do a Three
Well,
Amigos in a podcast.
So one of the things that's cool is the Clippers opened up a scholarship in his name that they're going to be doing for forever.
That's
and
awesome.
they have like a golden mic that's going to be, courtside. He's kind of like his signatures. He's like one of the old school guys who actually holds the mic up while he's talking.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Clipper legend, calling it a career. 40 years watching some miserable basketball. Not many guys are willing to put up with that.
Yeah.
Calling it a career. But there was also some actual basketball going on. Big playoff implications on the line. Playoff seeding. I think we kind of knew how the East was going to shake out as far as who was going to make it in going into that last game. The Detroit Pistons were playing the New York Knicks. Knicks are tanking hard for Zion this year, but there was still the Hornets' chance at making it if they won, and the Pistons lost.
Yeah,
they ended up knocking off the Magic, and so the Pistons do make that 8 seed spot. They're going to be playing the Bucks in the first round.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing that shocked me going into that first, going into seeing the matchups is, the 4-5, the Houston Rockets dropped down to the 4 seed. So they're going to be playing the Jazz, and they're probably going to be playing the Warriors in the Western Conference semifinals.
Wow. That'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, but they should have been probably pegged for the Western Conference Finals, so they're gonna be playing each other a little bit. But the Portland Trailblazers had they actually got the 3 seed, even though I think they're one of the easiest teams in the playoffs. But
they squeaked it.
Yeah, some big upsets there. But that's kind of it for NBA. What you got for NHL?
Well, do you have any playoff predictions? Just since seeding's now set, do you have any?
As far as upsets go, I honestly out west I could see 3 lower seeds upsetting the higher seeds.
Easily.
The only seed which I don't see it is obviously my own team is not going to knock off the Warriors. I'm hoping they steal 1 game from them. But I could see the Spurs knocking off the Nuggets at the 7 seed.
OKC over Portland.
I definitely see OKC over Portland, and I wouldn't put money on it, but you just never know. The Jazz play great defense, and you never know, they might find a way to stifle James Harden.
Yeah,
so.
Houston's all over the place, man.
Yeah.
Especially in the playoffs. I mean, shooting 3-pointers. I mean, low percentage shots all the time.
I definitely would not. They definitely play. Harden's game is predicated on drawing fouls and driving to the hoop and looking for contact and getting the whistle, which he gets 99% of the time in the regular season. But then when it's
bad for basketball if Houston doesn't win that series, though. But we got to see him knock off the Warriors.
They're for sure going to make it out. But I also wouldn't be totally shocked if the Jazz found a way to stretch that to 7 and maybe even take the series.
Okay.
But as far as the Eastern Conference goes, maybe the Pacers, just because the Celtics are a little banged up, but I would expect all 4 top seeds to make it into the next round.
All right, yeah. Well, it'll be fun to watch. I mean, I love playoff sports in general.
The brackets.
Yeah,
love seeing brackets.
Stakes are raised. It's like extra time, especially for those lower seeds. It's like they're playing on borrowed time at that point. It's like let it all hang out.
The pressure's off on the lower seeds, and then the higher seeds are kind of playing a little tense unless you've been there before.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it'll be cool. I guess we'll transition into NHL, do some hockey talk for you guys. I know you guys are not going to be too involved, but, I'll make it short and quick. I'll just rush through. First games were played over the past 2 days. just hitting on just a couple games. I know I wrote a lot of notes, just like an overview of each series, but I'll just go through the ones that I find interesting. The first series was Columbus in Tampa. I think the Lightning are everybody's favorites to win, but they dropped that first game, and it's kind of interesting. Like I said, Columbus was a team that made it on the wild card. They squeaked by with that final season win, and they're playing on borrowed time. You
were just talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, they're just letting it all hang out, and they're flying around, and I think that makes you dangerous.
We talked about this before. When you're not in the the playoffs are a different animal, and if you haven't been there or you just are playing a little tense, just.
Yeah,
and more dangerous than a team with nothing to lose.
Exactly. And the problem with this game was Tampa went up early. They scored 3 goals in the first period, and then they coasted, and it came back to bite them in the ass. They
4 unanswered.
Yeah, so it was kind of ridiculous. But the other game was the Penguins and the Islanders. It's like a rematch all over again. Islanders win this one in overtime.
Good.
And
do it, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and I think that the Islanders have a real good chance at winning this game. Barry Trotz was the head coach of the Capitals last season, and he found a way to beat the Penguins. I mean, he was the head coach over there for 8+ years, so he's seen the Penguins enough to know how to beat them. And the Islanders are super physical, so I think that that's going to kind of help them win that series. The other series was the rematch of last year, Vegas and San Jose. Vegas is just a dirty team. Both of these teams have come out and say that they don't like each other. They've come out and just been like, we don't like each other, and that showed late in the third period. They just
have you been to Vegas? It's dirty as shit.
Yeah. But if you guys want to see like exciting hockey or physical hockey, I say you watch this series. Tomorrow, definitely, I'm calling a fight. Definitely a fight tomorrow is going to happen in that series.
Has anybody taken their skate off and tried to stab anybody?
No.
that would have been a really good record.
I want to show you guys the video of the first goal in this series. Pavelski, he takes a saucer off the face and just nets it. Like, it was like Brett Burns throws this like a wrister right in front of the net, and it gets caught in traffic, hits him in the face. And
Wait, you're talking Canadian jargon that I'm not familiar with. What did you just say? He's tossing a wrist?
He threw a wrister. So
a wrister?
Like, a slap shot, they wind up and hit it.
Yeah.
This one, they already have it on their stick, and it's just a flick of the wrist. You throw it.
Calm down over there, Sherbatsky.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was going to throw a couple more lingo in here just because.
Lay it on. Lay it on.
I don't want to go too much, but. I
don't want to do too much.
And then, the games today, we had Carolina and Washington. Ovechkin gets the first tuck. It was a good game. They ended up winning that 4-2. I think that they could beat Carolina in 4 games easy. I think that's important for the Capitals because last season, obviously they won the Stanley Cup. That's a really long season for you. That's a lot of ice time. And I think if they can get it done in 4, they're going to have that rest because I see all the rest of these series going 6 or 7 games. And
I feel like hockey, more than any other sport, is just physically exhausting because guys are just beating each other up.
Yeah. And so, last season they had a lot of 7-game series, and that really slowed them down. And I think this year, if they can get it done in 4, it'll give them some rest days. Other series, Toronto and Boston. I think this series is really going to come down to goaltending. I think that Tuukka Rask is going to have to really show up, and that's Boston's chance to win it. That was basically it for playoff stuff. I wanted to go through some awards that are going to come up. They, after the first round of the playoffs, they give out the NHL awards. So first up is the Art Ross Trophy, which is the points leader. So this is pretty intense. I know you guys don't really understand how points work in a sense, but typically a player has more points than their team. Mm-hmm. Just because a goal is 2 points and assist is 1. a win for a team is 2, a tie or an overtime win is 1.
Mhm.
Nikita Kucherov had 80 points, which is as many as his team. He plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They set a record for most wins in a season at 64.
Wow.
So, I mean, just the fact that it's like he's on the team, he's scoring points, he's, you know, I don't know. He's also up for the Hart Trophy, which is the MVP. And I think he's the most deserving of it.
He's probably going to get it.
Yeah. Another guy that's up for the Hart Trophy is my guy, Elias Pettersson, the rookie for the Canucks.
Rookie get up for MVP, man.
Yeah, dude, this guy really put it down. He's up for the Calder, which is the Rookie of the Year, and I think he's a lock. Like, there's no chance he's not getting it, which is just unbelievable.
Hey, you guys got a bright future, man. Having someone who's up for MVP in his rookie year, that sounds like you got generational talent.
Yeah, he's, you know, Wayne Gretzky even said that he sees himself in this player, so
damn,
it's pretty intense.
Did you know that he said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take?
I thought that was Michael Scott.
But that was only Michael Scott after he was quoting him.
The other big one is the Rocket Richard Trophy, which is the lead scorer. It's easily going to Alexander Ovechkin. He has like 5 more goals than anybody else. He had 37 this year. Dude had a huge year. Alexander Ovechkin had just an incredible year. I could go on and on about the records that he set this season, which is just ridiculous. The dude's a freaking machine, man.
Well, going back to your MVP talk, having a team, like someone who's playing for a team that had the best record and also statistically putting up the best, it sounds like he's a shoo-in for it.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that you have a rookie who's, in consideration, that's impressive.
Even talks for it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just overall it was a really good season for the Canucks. They're kind of like how the Padres are right now, where it's like they were playing above board. Like you didn't think that they were going to have a season like this. And, hell, they were close to making the playoffs. They were like, I think they were the 9 seed. They finished
just on the outside.
Just right. Yeah. Barely missed it. So, I mean, yeah.
That's tough.
And the last one is the top goaltender, the Vizina Trophy. That one's going to go to the Islanders goalie, Robin Lehner. And I think he is going to be the one.
Robin Wiener?
Lehner. I think he's going to be the one that wins that series for the Islanders. I'd love to see him knock off Pittsburgh, but
Padres heading to the bottom of the 9th, up by 1 run.
There we go. Kirby Yates going to get that.
Dude, I'm seeing Winginter.
Yeah, Winginter is actually going in.
Oh, okay.
I think because Yates just closed out yesterday and probably closed out the day before.
Yeah.
Or
give him a little rest.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He's been getting a lot of opportunities.
Well, that's about all I had for NHL as the, series progresses. We'll keep everybody updated. But, Ryan, you got anything for us in the NFL?
Yeah, just some quick draft pieces. A lot of teams looking to move around in the draft this year. The Arizona Cardinals are kind of holding all the chips right now, though. A lot of times we get into the NFL draft, and there's one player, one team that suits that number 1 overall pick. This year, you have some new faces in the front office for the Cardinals, and they just traded up last year to draft a quarterback for Josh Rosen was a guy, and now there's talks that they are potentially looking at drafting Kyler Murray. From an organizational standpoint, you want to earn back some of those picks that you gave away last year, so there are talks about them moving down. One of those teams is the Oakland Raiders, soon to be Las Vegas Raiders, to potentially move up for that Kyler Murray sweepstake. But the Cardinals are actually in a position to with all the trades that are going around, the Patriots, they have 12 picks in this draft, so that's a ton. Yeah. They want to be able to move up in the draft, so if there's any team that has the ability to do that, the Patriots are a team that I look at
Patriots
this year.
have 12 picks?
They have 12 picks in the draft.
How do they get them? I thought they traded for Josh Gordon.
It's contemporary picks, and it's just trading back all the time, the years and years of trading back. Those...
This must be a deep draft, and I bet you Bill Belichick saw it coming in with his crystal ball.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, they need to replace Rob Gronkowski now that he's retired, so you can imagine that they're probably going to be looking at moving up in the first round.
I thought I heard that they signed Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Was that true?
That's true.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another team that could potentially move back to get some picks would be the Ravens. They moved up last year as well to draft Lamar Jackson. So, anytime you give up picks to move up, the next year you're kind of in a position where you have to think about the future more. So you're, a little bit more.
Well, you're a little bit handcuffed. You got to kind of,
But I look for a team like the Denver Broncos as well. Maybe try and switch up a little bit, move up into that number 5 spot where the Tampa Bay Bucks are right now. But like I said, it all comes down to Kyler Murray. If the Cardinals want him, then it's going to force a lot of other teams to move up into the early part of that first round, whether it's the Raiders, the Broncos. And then that's also going to cause this other ripple effect that makes Josh Rosen available. And the confusing part of that this year is that the teams that need quarterbacks are drafting too high. So if you ever watch the NFL draft, it's a mathematical equation when you're talking about trading draft picks. Mm-hmm. And if you have a high first round, that means you have a high second round pick. So most teams aren't willing to give up that high first round pick for Josh Rosen. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Cardinals do because it's one of the hardest drafts to predict. You have players like Quentin Williams and Nick Bosa, who should be the number 1 overall pick in this draft, who might fall down to 2, 3, or 4 because of what happens with the quarterback. We see it every year. Teams panic, they move up because they think they're not going to be able to get the player that they want.
So do you think that the Cardinals are going to move Rosen prior to the draft, or how do you think that if you're Cliff Kingsbury, whatever his name is, and you're in the front office, are you looking to move him first, or are you going to set your pieces and then make a move after?
I think right now the Cardinals know exactly what they want to do. And
which way you lean in on that?
I think that they probably want to draft Kyler Murray. They're telling Josh Rosen that Josh Rosen's reporting for OTAs right now. So he's going to be there. I don't think that his drafts, the draft stock for Kyler Murray is going to affect Rosen as much as draft picks for players aren't as valuable on draft day. So I think that I could see them drafting him and then moving on from Rosen after the draft, to prep for next year. And like I said, the only downside to that is you're not going to have as much draft picks this year. So if they choose not to draft Kyler Murray, then they're definitely going to be moving back. The only team that this makes sense for, though, is the Oakland Raiders. They have 3 first-round picks in this year's draft. They can give up one of their high picks in their I think it's the number 24 overall that they got from the Cowboys, and they're still set for years to come. So that's about the only one that makes sense to me first overall.
Yeah.
That's a big price. We've seen it every year. We saw it with Wentz, the year that they, gave up friggin' Annie for him. The Philadelphia Eagles, that is. They gave up 2 first-round picks and as well as, second and third rounders. Yeah. So it's a huge price to pay to have to move up. But like I said, the Raiders are in a situation where they have 2 first-round picks to offer this year in a very, very deep defensive class.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know. If I'm Cardinals front office, it's going to come down to what is the better deal, in my opinion. I know you're saying that they could go either way, but
if it's me personally, if I'm the GM of the Arizona Cardinals, I'm trading this pick away. Because
I would do the same thing.
There's too many holes.
But I'm trying to see what I'm going to get what I'm going to get more for.
The thing is with this draft is they can fill 2 massive holes on the defensive side of the ball for years to come.
Yeah.
By trading that first overall pick. The only way that this moves is if Kingsbury has zero confidence in Josh Rosen. And I don't blame the guy. He didn't look good last year. Mm-hmm. Outside of who's the rookie quarterback last year?
Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold didn't look great. He looked all right. And Lamar Jackson looked all right too. None of them looked fantastic.
Nate Peterman? No, I'm kidding.
No, I thought what's his name looked pretty good though. Browns quarterback.
Oh, Baker Mayfield. I was going to say outside of Baker Mayfield, it wasn't great.
Yeah, there you go.
It wasn't fantastic. But there's there's too many holes, and you just drafted a quarterback.
Yeah.
And this quarterback class is not that good.
I feel like it sounds like everyone's reaching. I feel like he's kind of the flashy pick
You're
right
gonna
now.
see. This is gonna be a year when we look back in 10 years from now. The same year that it was Christian Ponder.
Yeah, I was just
it
gonna
was
say that same draft class. I was like, dude,
Jake Locker. I mean, like all these
prior
teams.
to that draft, it was nothing, and then all of a sudden, Christian Ponder came out of nowhere as if he was going to be
Gavin
this
or
god.
Blaine Gabbert, like all these dudes like
Yeah.
flew off the board, and you're gonna see that Drew Lock is a guy that has been highly touted now. You're gonna see in Haskins from Ohio State.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't Dwayne Haskins
Dwayne
supposed to be the
Haskins.
guy?
I mean, I still think he's probably the best available quarterback. I mean, Kyler Murray's a freak athlete, and I think he can have similar success as a Baker Mayfield because they came from the same school.
Yeah,
But I mean, if we're talking about like, a prototypical quarterback, Haskins is a guy. But you're gonna see teams reach. It happens every single year. But the Cardinals literally hold every single piece now, and I'm watching all of these different mock drafts, and a lot of them look similar from past years. And this year, all of them look different because it comes down to
what do
they want to do? I mean, how many teams have drafted a quarterback first, or in the first round, and then the next year they're like, all
Do
right,
we want another one?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. You had anything else for us?
No, that's it.
That was it? All right. Well, Brandon, you got our stat of the day. You want to give it to us?
Stat of the day, stat of the day, dabba-doo-ba-doo, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
Yeah, New York Mets. Got one for the New York Mets. The stat of the day for yesterday, this happened yesterday. The New York Mets had 7 consecutive batters reach base via walk or hit by pitch in the 5th inning.
Wait, what?
They-
7?
7 straight batters reached
Were
base.
either walked or hit by a pitch?
Yes, they're the first team since '94. The Yankees had 7 straight batters reach without a hit or error.
Damn.
Dude, that's
That's like a really
That's fucking
odd.
insane.
that's so terrible. Who do they play?
Great question. I don't have that.
Like,
but still, that's just a crazy stat. You just goes to tell you, you just never know what you're going to see in baseball. It's like a new game.
dude, that's like 3 runs that are
Why?
just,
Imagine like being a coach of that too. Like,
what are you supposed
what,
to do?
like, what are you doing?
Like, because I'm sure they went through like 3 pitchers.
I don't care
you know
if
what
this
I mean?
guy hits the ball out of the park.
Throw it
Stop
over the plate.
throwing
Yeah,
it at
throw
him.
it over,
Throw it
please.
over the fucking
Stop.
plate. Give him like,
Yeah.
have him put the ball
Stop
in
walking
play.
or hitting these
Like,
guys.
I would like be on the phone with the bullpen. Get me a guy. I don't care if he hit the. This,
they
this
got the
next batter hits
fan
a
on.
500
The
foot
fan
home
is
run.
blowing the ball off the plate. No.
Dude, like, I want to know the sequence of batters. Like, if they were hit multiple in a row, or how many
God.
were walked to a hit. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't have that information for you, but
get it to
Brandon, I want to know more.
I want.
why don't you dig it up yourself?
I want all
Lazy
of
bum. No.
it. This is your stat. You're the one that brings it.
I can't. I'm literally my phone. ESPN's only got me on Padres right now. So I'll do
Right
it.
now, I'm more concerned about the Padres closing out this damn
I
save.
think we are all the
All
most
right.
concerned.
That-
Well, so
actually-
that's 3 amigos in a podcast.
Well, what are we at? So bottom of the 9th,
2 outs.
2 outs.
Run
Two
off
outs, and it's a 1-0 count, and the game is about to end probably around the same time our podcast is.
Yeah. So
which is right after this guy strikes out.
That's what I'm waiting for. I want to end it on a good note.
This is a long fucking pitch sequence.
Strike his ass out.
Dude, don't do that. I don't want to edit and hear your creepy ass fucking voice in my ears. Of you just strike his ass out.
Strike his-
I want to hear that shit.
You're gonna have the headphones on. You're gonna,
I'm gonna
The
hear-
fuck?
Shut up, Brandon, you creeper.
nice. There we go.
There we
Got
go.
him?
Fuck yeah. Struck his ass out.
I'm going to Twitter because I'm getting sick of this shit.
There we go.
Struck his ass out.
All right, we won.
Padres end the game. We end the podcast.
See you
We
later.
are the 3 Amigos and a Podcast, or 3A. Everybody, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Later.